Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. Zondervan has sent me the Clear Focus Bible. It is available in NIV and in NESB and a few other translations. And I've got the NIV edition of it here, and it uses the Bionic Reading method. And then what this does is focuses on the text in a way that makes it easier for those with dyslexia and ADHD to read. I think I have ADHD, and I think my whole family has ADHD, so this is going to be an interesting one for us. And it's things like building your comprehension and reading passages multiple times, and you have no idea what you just read. I mean, that describes me perfectly. Let's see what it does here. Let's see. The award-winning Bionic Reading method enables you to read more with greater comprehension. Let's see. Saw it here somewhere a second ago. It has a way of bolding the text. Okay, so the Bionic Reading bolds the portion of each word most critical for comprehension and guides the eye from word to word over the text. This allows the brain to stay engaged, read more quickly, and absorb information without losing focus. That's going to be helpful. That's going to be very helpful. So I've not looked at it yet. This is my first look right here. So first of all, that is a very thick Bible. It's a good personal size though. And then it looks a little thick. Let's see what we've got here on the sizing. Almost 6 inches for the overall size by almost 9, 8 7/8 by 2 1/8. While we're looking at it, we will go ahead and get our weight on this thing. So this one is an imitation leather cover using leather soft, and then there's the information printed in India. The MSRP is $49.99. The weight, 2 pounds 11.6 ounces. I like this cover. It has a texture to it, design pattern there. It looks interesting. And then I'm sure that's paste down. It is. So with the first page being the presentation page, it only has one thick end sheet, and that's the presentation page. As we saw, it's printed in India. It does, of course, look to be sewn. Everything is sewn nowadays. I don't even remember to say that half the time. This is a very thick paper, but it's not a premium paper. It feels like a utility paper that I've seen in several other editions. Let's see. So far everything in this is using the Bionic Reading method, which I'm not familiar with. I'll have to get familiar with it for this review. So the front there's not. But I thought I saw it here. The introduction to the NIV Clear Focus Bible. So this tells us how it works and what it is. So what I'm seeing is that it does give you the first few letters of a word are in bold. I'm not sure that I would like this or not, to be honest, but I'm going to try it and see. We're going to give it a try. See what we have here. The paper is not stuck together, which I appreciate. That's because it's white edges. I am tired of separating pages. That takes a toll on your hands after doing this for 14 years. So there is the text. Double column paragraph. It looks to be well, it says here 7.5 point font. I'm going to say that's larger than that. That doesn't look 7.5 point to me. I guess it is though, because it has such a large, what they call leading, the space between the lines. That is large. It's actually the same as the text itself, if not larger. This comes across larger than it is though, because of that. So there's a lot of white space in here. At first glance, I don't like the look of it. That doesn't mean I can't read it. So we'll see. It might be better for reading. We'll see. There's the ribbons. Got two ribbons. There's a silver and a black back here. See where it's staying open for us. Close to the middle or end of Genesis, it'll stay open. So it's going to take a little bit of work to stay open, but not much. It's not too bad. It's a double column paragraph. It does have the poetry. A little bit of a poetic setting. We can get over here to see some more poetry. I'm finding the text a little distracting, actually. I'm sure if you need this for reading, though, it will be better while you're reading rather than just looking at it. But we'll see. I'm going to spend some time reading this and see. There's Job. So it looks like we have footnotes at the end of the book. That's interesting. I like the way that they've done this. Not a lot of footnotes, though. Let's see how many they've got here for Genesis. Genesis should have a lot of footnotes. So we'll see. Oh, yeah. A couple of pages of footnotes there. About 3 full pages of footnotes, but only one for chapter 1. Still, there's some footnotes in there. And I'm sure this is a black letter text. We'll get over here to the New Testament. Yeah, that's black letter. So there are no references or anything like that. It's just for reading. And there's the poetry. So I'm seeing a lot of lines with a single word. There's also a lot of space between the words. So I think the point of this one is just spacing the text out. Spacing it out, making it easier to get a hold of as you're reading. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but that's what I'm going with. That's what it looks like to me. So I'll zoom in a little bit so that you can get a good look at this. Without my bad lighting giving it a different color than it should. The paper looks like it has a slight red tone to it that you only notice in the gutter where the pages meet. It doesn't come across in the rest of the text. And the spine does rise so that it will level out the page, which I like. I like that a lot. That's what I'm used to from older Bibles like the Thompson Chain Reference from Kirkbride. It did this, and that's what I got used to. That flattens out that page. And to me, that does help readability because your text is not being bent into the gutter and you're having to trace with your finger and find where you are. It's easier to read this in a double column than it would be in a single column if it bends into the gutter like that. That's where a lot of people get lost reading because of that bend into the gutter. It does have some separation with the sections there. So that might be a little distracting. Because if you have ADHD and little things distract you, trust me, little things can distract you. That's one of those little things that can distract you. But yeah, it is black letter, and I'm probably gonna pause this for a minute and just read something to see what I think about it. So I'm gonna do that real fast. Okay, I didn't hate it. I'm gonna have to get used to it though. My first impression of it was that it's going to take some work to go through, but I do see how the first few bolded letters can help capture your attention on what you're reading and make you focus on it. That makes sense. I've never used Bionic Reading before, and that does make sense. You can see the show through from the other side of the page there. The print is dark and consistent all the way through. I haven't seen any issues with print, but you can see through the pages. That's rough paper, which I like a rough page because it's easier to grab and turn. So this looks interesting. I'm not familiar with the Bionic Reading method, but this is interesting. So we have in the back table of weights and measures. And I saw a reading plan there. There's the reading plan. And this just takes you through the scriptures in biblical order, and you can mark off what you've read. Good solid little reading plan there. It doesn't even tell you what day to read or anything like that. You just mark it as you read it. So the front of this might tell you. Pages are a little bit sticking together there. That could be the weather here. So it does give you some reading advice, telling you where to start, and then telling you what to read next. So if you're a first-time Bible reader, it gives you some information about going through the scriptures and where to read, what to read. And that is it. No other tools or features. Yeah, that's so that's my first impression of the Bionic Reading method. It'll take some getting used to. It doesn't stand out as terrible, but it's also something that's not just easy to grab and read. I wouldn't mind if there was a little bit better show, a little bit more opacities with less show through on the page. It is not printed with line matching. Well, no, here we go. That's the notes. Find another page. It does seem to be printed with line matching. You have to get special permission to be printed with line matching in NIV. And I do see a lot of text, a lot of poetry with a single word, but they're giving you a lot of space in this text, a lot of white space here. So the separation of the pages, it's a little bit distracting. Either way, it could be good. I'm going to spend some time with this and do the written review at BibleBuyingGuide.com. This is just my first impressions, which is what I do in video. That way you don't have to wait for a month for the review. And you get to go ahead and see this thing. So I'll place links in the notes. You can make a purchase if you're interested. And Zondervan did supply this in exchange for an honest review. So that honest review will be posted at BibleBuyingGuide.com. And thanks for watching.